Okay, so it's hard to bring us down to earth after that, but a question that some people asked about this panel is they were curious about appearances in music videos. Everybody we've got here has appeared in different music videos, most notably maybe familiar to people in the audience, the Weezer Pork and Beans video from 2008. Yeah. So what's the story behind the music video appearances? How does this work? Why does it work? What's going on?
Well, it's the same thing. We were fortunate enough that we got into the quote-unquote world of the internet and internet video at its birth. You know, when I put my video up online, the #1 video was the Smosh Brothers Pokemon theme song, which had 9 million views. So, you know, I mean, YouTube was literally only 9 months old when I posted my video, and, you know, things like that. And so, you know, Matt referenced earlier that once all this stuff started exploding, all of these people started going, there's something going on. Let's see how we can incorporate that into what we do. Let's see what we can do to make this more, you know, and they're still trying to figure it out to this day. I mean, you know, Google bought YouTube not because they really, really wanted a channel to share, because they saw as competition. And when you own a big corporation, it's easier to buy out competition than it is to let them grow and beat you later on, a la Facebook and Instagram. You know, they didn't buy it because, oh, we really want to do this. It was because, holy shit, we better get that before they get bigger than us. And so Google didn't know what to do in that aspect. And so all of a sudden, I was inundated with all sorts of weird requests. And every time you would have to flesh out what it was they wanted you to do. And for the Weezer Pork and Bean one, you know, they said, hey, we want to do a video. It's for Weezer, which I love Weezer. And I was like, well, that might actually be legitimate versus some of the other requests that you would get, you know.
Did you hear from the band, or did you hear from...
No, we heard from a production company is who I heard from. I mean, you didn't even talk to the band until that day when they said, whatever you do, don't look at them. No, they didn't. I'm kidding. The band was awesome. The band was great. They were a lot of fun, and they were very, very thankful to every one of us. They did, but you know, you just had to flesh it out. Is it real? What are we going to do? And that was the big question. What is the video going to be? Because you don't want it to be something that goes, you know, are they going to blow us all up at the end of the video? Like, you guys are dumb, boom. So after talking with them and realizing what they wanted to do, it sounded like an excellent opportunity. And it was going to be a lot of fun to get to meet some of the other people who've had, I mean, the most fun of that video, hands down, was getting to meet all of the other people who have had a similar experience in this realm because of that.
That's the kick. That's why I like doing those things. It's cool to get, there's not so many people who are in the same situation that you're in, and it's nice to get to you know, compare notes.
The ROFLcon of the music world.
Yeah. Now, you were there for both days of the shoot, right?
I was there for 1 day.
For 1 day. Oh, we were there the same day. Because were you there for the fight?
No, I was there for 2, but like a half a day.
The fight?
Were you there for the fight?
No, I was not there for the fight.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
No.
I still to this day don't exactly know what happened, but the day after I got there, Chris Crocker, is that right?
Britney Spears.
The Britney Spears one, and Tay Zonday from Chocolate Rain were both there. And apparently, and I don't know because I was not there, but this is what they said the next day, that they almost got into like a full-on fist fight.
They're not here, so we can talk about it.
Yeah, but it is streaming, so I don't want them to get back and be like, they're spreading rumors about us, you know. But there was something that happened where they were like bantering back and forth in an escalated voice towards each other that I didn't get to witness, but...
And no one filmed it.
Amazingly, no, nobody did.
What I loved doing about that video was, it was so cool, they handed me a guitar, because they didn't know what to do with Kelly, like this teenage girl. They're like, what's she gonna do, just wear shoes or something? I don't know. So they're just like, all right, just play with the band. And I was like, cool, what are the chords? And they're like, it's a music video. Like, it doesn't I thought I was being cool.
Okay, so the title of our panel today refers to the fact that the internet has really changed over the last decade, and I believe in an earlier conversation, Judson said a remarkable thing about that video shoot was that it made him feel old. Was that right? Because internet celebrities are come from all eras of the internet, and we have here some of the pioneers.
Actually, it refers to us as elder statesmen in the program, and we feel...
I thought pioneers was all right.
I like pioneers better, but I had not known that we laughed at it, called us elder statesmen.
I stayed out till midnight last night. Gotta
That's
close that
only
part.
like 9 o'clock for your time.
Well, maybe we can reflect a little bit about the evolution of the internet in the last, say, 10 years, and especially the way that the mechanisms of celebrity seem to be different now. We heard earlier from Liam about the YouTube celebrity production companies that have come about. And so can we reflect a little bit about this? I mean, what's different? What strikes you as different, even different to just a few years ago? What do you think about the channelization, the YouTube putting the money into producing original content?
So I've seen a really big shift from where I'm coming from, which is the last video I put up was 2008, and they were at a certain place in 2008. Monetization had just hit, but it wasn't really working yet. And now in 2012, I called up the people I knew at YouTube. They're all gone, and I've had some conversations there. And hey, in 2008, I finished the video, I took it to YouTube, I showed it to them a week before I put it up. Here's what I'm gonna do. The room filled up with YouTube employees, they were all really excited. It was a great vibe, and they put it on their front page when I put it out. When I talk to them now, they're just kind of like, you know, hey, I got a new video, I spent 2 years making it, it's gonna be really great, I'm gonna upload it soon. They're kind of like, and I didn't understand why, but what I've kind of, is anyone from YouTube out here? No? Good. What I think has gone on is they've really been pushed. They got to make money. YouTube's got to turn a profit, and they've been pointed in a direction. And it's a pretty specific kind of content that YouTube has learned they need in order to make money, and that is the kind of content that Liam does. Serialized content that can reliably turn up an audience every week or every 2 weeks, tops. It takes me 2 years to make a video, and I make one, and it's 4 minutes long, and it's over. And it's great for me. I've found a way to make a living out of making one piece of 4-minute content that a lot of people watch, but it doesn't really work for them. It's not worth the trouble for them to set up advertising partners for something that's just gonna hit for a week and then be done. And so what they're doing now, clearly, is these channels where they're getting actual talented people who are entertainers and can create content that they don't have to spend 2 years making week after week. That's what they're doing now. It's becoming television.
So two quick follow-up questions on that for Matt. I mean, one, I'd just like to say, everyone in this room thinks that you are all very, very talented people. So I just want to say, that wasn't a question, actually. But then the second thing is that you, in the beginning of your answer, it seemed to be implied that you thought that it was really important to be featured by YouTube in order to reach the audience that you needed to reach, that it was very important to be chosen as a spotlight video and put on their homepage.
It helps. It's not necessary. I mean, you just gotta, it's gotta happen fast. I mean, when a video comes up, it could sit there dormant for 2 months, but there's gotta be a moment where everybody's watching it. Where if you go on your Facebook page, you see the same video posted 4 times by 4 different friends, because everybody is suddenly watching this one thing. That's what pushes it over. That's what makes me go, I guess I actually have to watch this thing because everybody else is watching it. So, you know, I try and strategize as best as I can and position the video to have that audience there when I put it up. So that's why I brought it there. But you know, like I was saying, they're shifting now more towards, they want stuff that people are going to go back and watch the next episode of week after week, and they're not so interested in Friday. Friday came out last year and got, anybody know how many views that got, ballpark?
Like 180 to 150, somewhere in there.
Something crazy. But it just happened, and then it was over. And that doesn't work for them.
You know, there's a really good book by Chris Anderson, who's one of the editors of Wired, called The Long Tail, and it had to deal with the shift in economics from, the best way to explain it is he draws a big giant tail, and they uses a story in the opening that says, if you go to Walmart, they uses music as an example, if you go to Walmart, you can pick from about 1 of 5,000 CDs, which means you only have the option, Walmart can only sell you of those 5,000 CDs, and they have to figure out which 5,000 CDs are we gonna put in the store this week. If you go to Walmart.com, you can buy 1 of 150,000 CDs. Now, 90% of those CDs will only sell 2 to 10 copies per month. But when you take that 90%, which happens to be 140,000 different CDs, and you have 3 to 5 sales of each one of those, now you're over 1 million albums sold. So basically what I think YouTube has done is they've looked at it as the long tail. They don't want, like you said yesterday, they don't want one video that gets 40 million views. They want somebody that puts out a video a week over 40 weeks and gets 1 million views per video. Because what it does is, it's just like with television, it creates an actual audience, and that audiences are always easier to sell marketers on. Because marketers ask one question. They ask, who buys my product and how can we get in front of them? And when you build an audience through a channel, you get an idea of who your audience is, their age, their economical status, where they're from, all those different things, which is much easier to sell to a marketer than lots of people watch.
Yeah,
everybody
Friday's video is like a shotgun blast.
Yeah. Because then it becomes a life of its own.
Yeah, the rule is always be posting.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see Glenn Ross and Alec Baldwin says, always be closing?
Yeah.
It's like that with YouTube. If you want to be on YouTube, you always be posting.
ABP?
ABP.
It's new.
Because I used to think like you, man. I wanted to make something really awesome and just get inspired and then go make it, whatever it took, however long it took. But I had to adapt to this new model, really. So that's why I try to make it as funny as I can, crank out one a week, and hopefully I'm doing that.
Good. Somebody has a burning question.
We have 15 minutes left, so we're going to take the rest of the time and take questions from the audience. So we have one question here in the corner. I'm just going to restate the question for the internet. All right. So the question was, do you find the serialization dampens your creativity?
That you're forced to put something out.
No, actually, necessity, mother. What is it? Mother is the necessity of invention. Right.
Sure.
You know what I'm talking about. Like you have restrictions no matter what. So when you're writing for, say, Disney, you can't say fuck. So you call that, you make, well, maybe, I don't know. You make that adjustment, So it's just a series of adjustments that you need to make. But I try to make them, and it's actually great because you should always be writing anyway. I mean, if you're a creative person, you should always be writing. You should always put your pedal to the metal.
So ABP and
ABP, ABW.
Yeah, so
Always
We have another question right there. Yep.
You mentioned maker studios, and Christian, you mentioned there's a whole infrastructure developing around the sort of how to make celebrities out of YouTube stars, so it's like a production type of thing. Is there any way where it would be practical for you to do that on your own, or do you need that infrastructure?
I personally need it because
So we have to restate the question, or the internet people won't hear it right. So the question was, I think, would you think of this as a YouTube star system? Is there an infrastructure for being a star on YouTube, and do you need it, or can you still break through without it?
I personally need it because I come up with all these ideas, and I need a green screen, and I need, this type of camera and all this stuff. And for me to just produce, to do absolutely everything it's exhausting week after week. I would lose my shirt. However, if you're just vlogging, if you're just sitting in front of your computer and just, talking, then I don't think you would need that. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely think it goes to just the level of production. Those studios don't have the distribution network. He controls the distribution network. What they're really doing is they're just assisting him on the logistics side of things. It's like he gets an assistant, basically, who takes care of the equipment rental and anything that he might need so that he can focus on the creativity side of things instead of, oh my gosh, what do I need to have for all of this?
Yeah, because I just do these wacky sketches with wacky characters and actors and stuff, so I have to pull all that. It's like, you know, making a little movie.